Hello guys, welcome back to Call You Later podcast, episode number 31. My name is John.
And I'm Kelly. Hi guys. 31 episodes.
Number 31.
So we are talking all about
Study tips.
Study tips today.
We're college students, we have to study, you guys have to study, it happens, you know.
Midterms are coming up, we got exams coming up in a few weeks.
It's happening, it's
We
time.
we would share all our tips and tricks with you guys.
How we do it.
So we're going to talk all about how we stay organized when studying for midterms and exam, rewarding yourself with study breaks, and finding a study buddy. Last week we talked all about a little life update.
Yeah, we gave you guys a life update, what we've been up to, what we've been doing, what we want to do.
So you guys definitely don't want to miss out on that episode. So if you haven't seen it yet or listened to it, go check it out.
Go check us out.
Yes, it was a good one. That was probably one of my favorite episodes.
That was a good episode.
It was funny.
It was, yeah.
So I do have a disclaimer for this
Oh,
week.
the disclaimer.
Last week I didn't have a disclaimer. But I said everyone learns and absorbs knowledge differently. What works for someone might not work for you, and that's okay.
Okay, I like that.
But there's like a thing, there's different types of learning.
Oh,
some
yeah,
people
absolutely.
have to say it, some people have to hear it, some people have to do it, and everyone does it so differently. So
You're
if
completely
something
right.
works for someone and it doesn't work for you, don't feel bad about that.
No, you're right, completely. 100%. All right. So how we stay study, how we stay organized when studying. I got 3 for this one. What you got?
5.
All right, you want to start us off?
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So I kind of categorize it into online and not online.
Oh, okay.
Because with online, I've noticed I do it all on my laptop. I don't have a textbook. I don't even write anything down anymore because it's all on my computer. And when I have to have stuff open in Google Chrome, I use Chrome, I like to have 2 different Chrome boxes open. So the first one will have all my school tabs. So if I'm using Canvas, my email for school is all in that one. And then I have a separate one that has all my personal stuff in it. So if I'm watching YouTube, it'll be on that one. So if one's open or one's closed, it's this is school mode.
I got you.
Because typically you're on your computer before school was all online to do your own stuff.
Yeah.
You know? So I think that really has been a helpful thing for
Helps
me.
you box it and put it together. Yeah. Okay. So my number 1 was make a to-do list. I didn't really categorize mine as online versus in person. I kind of just did it all as one whole.
Right.
But make a to-do list, and so you can cross it off, and it will just. Again, I think we've probably talked about to-do list in at least half of the episodes,
gosh, yes.
But it's the satisfying feeling of crossing something off when you're done with it.
I think to-do lists are so important, and I mentioned with my to-do list one is to have a calendar as well.
Oh, okay.
So that kind of rolls into my next one, which is to look ahead and know when things are due. So you can note deadlines, kind of know what's due this week, what you have to do, all that kind of stuff.
I got you.
Very helpful for staying organized.
I like that, and that kind of rolls into mine. So once you look at what things are due, prioritize them. Figure out whether it's off of what's going to take the most work, what is due first, whatever is most important to you, do that first, so it's the most satisfying when you cross it off that to-do list.
And another tip that I didn't write down with that is to do your hardest task first.
Yes.
So if you have an 8-page essay, like I do, crying inside because I haven't started that yet, and a 5-point course check-in where you just sign your name in a box, do the essay first. Because the other one's going to be so easy and you're going to be so done after you write that essay. It's
going to feel nice to have that one little short task and you're done once you're done with the essay.
Instead of saving the hard thing and kind of stressing yourself out about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And then my last one was to break your studying into sections and take breaks with those sections.
Definitely. We're going to talk about breaks later on in this episode.
We are, yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Thanks.
My next one is, again, with online school, when all your stuff's on your computer, or even honestly, if you have papers and stuff, organize it based on the class. So if you're online, when you have folders on your computer, name the folders. Yeah. Categorize them by class. Otherwise, you're going to have a whole lot of random stuff on your computer. But also, if you have papers in real life class, in-person classes, categorize them in separate folders, physical folders. Or
make it to where it satisfies the OCD.
Exactly. It sounds a little crazy, but it's going to make it easier to find stuff.
Absolutely, it is.
Especially renaming your files is so important. So if you can Command F, search, type in the name and just find it instead of being I know it looked like this, but I can't find it. That is not fun.
Definitely.
And then I also have the last one is to take notes.
Ooh, I like that one.
I kind of mentioned I don't take notes because all my stuff's online.
Yeah.
I just kind of copy and paste everything. But first semester when I had a textbook and a lot of reading assignments, a lot of people didn't do this because I talked to people about it, but I like, and this is how I learn, is I like to take notes on what I read. So I read, summarize, and then write, but it also uses that, like, the memory of writing it down. So it's like that doing it.
I got you. Okay. Nice. Okay. I like that.
Thanks. So that would lead us into studying for midterms and exams.
Yes.
Or any big test, like if you're in high school or something. I think these are helpful.
Absolutely, it is at every walk of life.
You want me to start off, or you want to start?
I have, looks like 3 as well for this one.
All
right, well, you can start us off.
All right, so my first one, and I think this one is so big, but again, it's easier said than done, is to pay attention the whole time so you don't have to cram it all in the week before the exam.
That's smart.
It makes a difference. It's a lot of work because you're constantly doing, taking notes, paying attention, but it saves you from having to do it all the night before this big test.
Absolutely. Do each subject one day at a time. It kind of goes back to the breaking it apart.
Right.
Because if you have 5 midterms coming up and you have 10 days to study, you need to use your time wisely and do one day at a time. So that way it allows your brain to absorb that information. Because if you try and do 5 subjects in one day, you're not going to remember a thing.
And it's going to blur together.
Exactly.
Definitely. My next one is to take notes and read over them and rewrite them and then read out loud. So it uses all the skills. So as you're reading them, you're going to process it. But if you say it out loud, you're going to read it and say it. So you're more likely that you're going to remember it. But if you read it, write it, and say it out loud, you're really using a lot of different like skills. Yeah. That it's going to be like laser imprinted in your head.
I like that one.
It's weird, it's time consuming, and you might sound like a crazy person talking to yourself, but it's really helpful.
I think that sounds helpful, yeah. My next one, and it kind of teases the brakes a little bit. It's something that I like to do. I call it the 30-10 method. So do 30 minutes on, 10 minutes off. So 30 minutes of just straight studying, and then take a 10-minute break just to kind of rest your mind, go to the bathroom, take a walk, do something like that. But we'll get more into that in the breaks. Yeah. But the 30-10 method is one way that I've really found that it really helps me study.
I like that. My next one is to color coordinate stuff. So when you're taking notes, if it's a big like header, like a big thing to pay attention to, do it one color, and then like highlight the other stuff or highlight keywords or vocab words a different color and stuff.
Nice. I like that one. I
feel like my like not OCD, but OCD is really coming out in this.
But I think that's one of the, like when you look at it, it's super satisfying. Like all of your stuff is always so organized, and it makes me so jealous because I'm not organized.
But like my head, it's like it has to be this way.
But I think it looks good.
It helps.
Yeah. And then my last one was to make sure you give your brain time to absorb the information. Because like we said, if you try and study for 8 hours straight over 3 different subjects, it's going to blur and blend together, and you're not going to be able to remember anything.
And then I feel like you just get frustrated and give up.
Exactly.
Like, personally, that's what I do. I'm like, I've studied enough.
Cramming never works. No. So you got to break it apart and make it a slow burn.
Definitely. And my last 2, because was that your last one?
Yes.
Okay, my last 2 are to study with someone, which we're going to talk about later on with study buddies. But that seriously makes the biggest difference because you can bounce ideas off of each other. But then also make it fun. Now that sounds weird, making studying fun, but it's something you kind of have to do if you want to pass your courses. So why not find a way to enjoy it? Whether that be maybe find a YouTube channel, someone talking about the subject that you're learning and listen to someone else talk about it, or find like, this is a really bad example, but I remember when I was little, like learning math, there were like math games online that you could learn.
Cool math games.
Exactly. So like, even though that doesn't really apply to college subjects all the time, there are more entertaining ways to study.
Make a game out of it.
Like Quizlet, I think they do like the matching thing.
Quizlet, Kahoot, all of it.
It's weird, make yourself but it does make it a little bit more enjoyable.
Absolutely.
Which makes it go by quicker and you remember it better.
Yeah, 100%. Did you have one more?
No, that was
it. Okay, cool. All right, so on to rewarding yourself for studying. Study breaks, in other words. I have 6 for this one.
Ooh, I only have 4.
Kind of, technically.
Okay, start us off.
So give yourself a goal and work towards it. So what I mean by this is, let's say you're doing the 30-10 method. During those 10 minutes, you get to do something fun. Whether that be, and this is where I kind of go into my long list, watch TV for a minute, go for a walk, have a snack. Anything of that sort, you can give yourself that 10-minute rest break that you can work towards. It's like the light at the end of the tunnel.
Right.
You have a goal and you want to push for it.
Okay, I really like that. So I kind of mentioned that as well, in to put your phone away as you're studying. Sometimes it's hard to do if you study with like Quizlet, that's an app on your phone or something. But it makes it when you get your 10-minute break, it's like, oh my God, I haven't been on my phone for 30 minutes. That I'm so excited to check it.
It's satisfying and rewarding.
It's satisfying, and it makes you look forward to getting to the end of studying.
Nice. I like that.
I like yours.
So if you're taking that break, make sure you time yourself so you don't lose track of things and get off task.
Yeah, that's helpful.
Yeah, no, absolutely, because it can really derail you and throw you off.
So you mentioned doing a 10-minute break after every 30 minutes.
Okay.
I do a 10-minute break after every 60 minutes.
I
feel like it gets by a little bit quicker that way.
That's fair. Okay.
But that's just my personal preference.
Absolutely. And again, it's all personal preference. Exactly. Everyone studies differently. Yeah. So, and then my other one was, it's not really a break, but if you have a study buddy, which we'll get into later, talk with that study buddy about what you've been learning, and make that your break, It's
also a great way to read aloud your notes or something.
Exactly.
It's like using those skills to say it.
Because you're not just sitting there reading a book, you're actually conversating and talking about.
That's a really good one. I like
that. Was technically my last one because I just had different break ideas.
So my next one is when you're during your break, go for a walk, change your location, get out of where you've been doing work, and kind of get like a little rest from your environment.
I like that. I kind of put the same thing.
Yeah, it was very similar to yours. And then my last one, it doesn't really I kind of do this when I'm studying, but it's also like a nice break is to listen to like lo-fi beats or music.
I love me some lo-fi beats.
But then like when you get your break, you can listen to something else and then go back to lo-fi beats.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
To kind of make that mindset switch.
Exactly, to make that mind switch.
I like
just like you said, yeah.
I like that.
All right, so finding a study buddy. I will say this is probably a lot harder now due to online classes, especially if you didn't have in-person classes before going to online classes. Thankfully, we've met people already.
We already have some connections.
Already have some connections with people that now we're online and we're all doing it online together. So we can talk to people about it.
Yeah.
So this might be a little bit harder to connect if you are going straight into online classes.
But it is still doable.
But it's still very doable.
Yeah.
So my first one was having a study buddy really helps you keep I don't know what the right word would be for that, accountable.
Okay,
so kind of like a fitness workout buddy. You're like, oh, I already did my homework. It'll inspire them to do their homework. Or like, do you want to do our homework together? So then you get it done at the same time.
Okay, nice. So my first one, I kind of gave a real life example.
Okay.
Me and you.
Yeah.
So we, like you said, keep each other accountable. We remind each other that this is due on our days that we do homework. We have to do this and this and this and get this done. So you must study buddy.
You must study buddy. It seriously makes the biggest difference having a study buddy though. Like we're so lucky to have each other as study buddies. But it's like, oh my gosh, I forgot something was due. And John's like, oh, did you do this by the way? And I'm like, no. So it really does make a difference. My next one is it helps if you don't understand the work.
Okay.
So like I have you to explain it. If I don't understand how the professor's saying it, you can kind of reword it for me.
Definitely. You have that. You have that third opinion or third.
Exactly.
Third voice in the matter, I guess.
Definitely.
I don't know. So my next one was how to find one, especially in this time. If you've had in-person classes before, pick one person, send them a text. It doesn't matter who it is. Doesn't matter how you know them. If you have their Snapchat number or whatever already, just send them a text and say, hey, did you do this assignment in this class yet? And then that kind of opens that gateway.
And it won't be weird. People are, like want friends, and it's hard to make friends. And sometimes you just have to make the first move. But if you don't have their number or Snapchat, you could creepily search them on social media if they have it.
Social media?
Also,
you have the forms.
There's the forms. I know, like, we use Canvas, our school does.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of schools do because I've
Tons
talked
of
to people
schools
about
do,
it.
yeah.
But there's, like, this form you can fill out and you can kind of search people and you get their email. And you might have to be old school and email back and forth for a while. But I check my school emails almost every day.
Email.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. So then...
Wait, side note, going off of that, I did write this down. I was just kind of going off what you said, but then I looked over it. When you do get a study buddy, say you're like into the study buddy, it's a nice way to slide into those DMs and shoot your shot after the class is over. But wait till the class is over because then it might make it awkward.
Exactly. You have to wait till the class is over.
Yeah. But again, also if it's like you're not into them, you can make a really nice friend out of it.
Exactly. It can be a friendship.
Yeah.
And if you guys want to know how to shoot your shot, go check out a couple episodes ago.
Yeah, I think it was episode 29.
I think so. Yeah. All right. So my next one was kind of ask each other questions. This is a tip on how to study.
Okay.
So quiz each other. Whether if you want to make a game out of it, you can make Kahoots for each other.
Ooh. I was never a fan of Kahoots.
Oh, I loved me some Kahoot when that song dropped in the classroom. Oh,
that's funny.
I don't know if we've done Kahoot in college yet. Have we? Maybe in one class we did.
I think in like my math class we did. Like it wasn't for our degree.
Okay.
It was like a general educational class.
Yeah, I don't think I miss Kahoot.
Really
I miss
happy
Kahoot.
It's not.
Making the name, making a funny
No.
name, and then getting kicked out by the teacher. It was great.
Oh.
Sorry, that was a side tangent. But ask each other questions, you know?
Yeah. I like that.
Just quiz each other back and forth, and that's a good way to absorb and memorize the information because once again, it's that verbal talking back and forth. It's not just reading out of a textbook.
Yeah. Well, my last one is a big one, and I think this is kind of could go to anything in life when you're working with someone. Don't do all the work.
Yes.
So if you have a study buddy, it's nice. You can share doing homework together. It's not always the most ethical thing to do, but people do it.
Yeah.
But if you end up doing that, make sure you're not the one doing all the work the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
So those are all mine. Do you have any more?
I have one more.
Okay.
And it kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier with awards. Have mutual rewards. So,
right.
Especially, be safe, but like if you get all your studying done, you get to go get lunch.
Definitely.
Or get to do something fun together, or get to do this, or get to do that, go to the park, whatever. Stay safe, but you can have rewards.
I think that's a perfect way to sum it up. I love that.
Absolutely.
Finish it up.
Yeah.
I like that. Good tips.
Thanks.
Air 5.
Air 5.
All right. So if you guys enjoyed our podcast, be sure to follow,
like, comment, subscribe, follow.
All that good stuff. Leave us a review on Apple
Leave us
Podcasts.
a review. We'll read it.
We really appreciate it. And we're just very thankful for you guys. We're on Instagram. It's CallyAlater Podcast. And Twitter's CallyAlater Pod.
# tweet you later.
Yes. And thank you so much for listening. Next week, we're talking all about fall date ideas.
Ooh, spicy.
I'm excited.
We're going on one today.
Ooh, yeah.
You guys will have to wait and see what we do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that wraps up this week's episode.
Thank you guys.
Thank you. Call you later.
Call you later.
Bye.